Well, welcome back to Cityline, zooming from my kitchen. With me, I have a familiar face and someone that I really enjoy talking to. He is somewhat new to his position, but let me tell you something. This man knows what he's doing. I'm talking about Brent Mason. He is the executive director of the Foss Waterway Seaport. Welcome back, my friend.
Thank you, Amanda. It's always good to be with you.
Well, it's good to have you on, especially because our whole show is about the fabulous museums here in Tacoma, and certainly after being given the option to reopen by Governor Inslee. The Foss Waterway Seaport is one of those museums that has chosen to come back, and we say thank you. And first, I want to wind back the clock a bit, though, because the last time you and I were together virtually, you were walking into your annual fundraiser with wonderful seafood chowders. So give us a little snapshot of all the greatness that happened.
Well, if I feel like I'm in a little bit of a haze still because the fundraiser was this past Sunday, so still kind of in that post-event stage. But it was amazing for a variety of reasons. It was amazing because we sold out. It was amazing because it was different. It was kind of a in-person but safe type of an event. And a couple of different stories from that. We had a lot of people that showed up. Believe it or not, we had one person that showed up dressed nicely and asked where all the tables were, expecting to have a real in-person event. Was very disappointed when we had to tell her that she had to stay in her car and drive through. But funny thing, by the time she got to the other end, she goes, I get it. This was terrific. So story one. Story two, kind of on the vendor side, and talking with caterers, and I don't know if you've had an opportunity to do much of that with Cityline, talking to caterers and restaurants. Obviously, extremely challenged, right? And talking with our caterers, their businesses have reduced by upwards of 60 to 75%. And when we got to the end of the day at about 6 o'clock on Sunday, to a person, they remarked, regardless of what we did or didn't make, meaning them, on this particular event, it was just great to do an event again. And they were just bubbly because they had a chance to interact with people and fix real food and do what they do. So for those reasons, beyond the fundraising part, Amanda, it was a terrific event, and I think, as we would all agree, just being able to have that human interaction, albeit with masks and all that kind of stuff. It was terrific. So we got to see about close to 200 of our best friends on Sunday.
Oh, congratulations. Well, you are about ready to see more of your best friends who have been waiting patiently for the Foss Waterway Seaport to reopen. So tell us, what are the hours and when will you reopen?
We are shooting for, well, not shooting for, we are going for a reopening on Friday, October 16th. I know my museum colleagues that you have talked to both before and after me. We have a similar schedule. So we're going to run a Friday, Saturday, Sunday schedule. And this gets a little kind of complicated because we're trying to meet the needs of people. But Fridays will be open from 3 to 7. Saturdays, we will be open from, this is the tough one for me, 12 to 4. And Sundays, I believe, are 12 to 4. So we're trying to kind of hit that sweet spot when people are mostly available, trying not to get too much in the way of Sunday football, but also be here for those that want to get out and just get away from home and so forth. So it's a limited schedule, dipping our big toe into the reopening waters. But I will tell you that the museum district did a lot of work to collaborate on this, and we didn't walk into it or we didn't go into it haphazardly. We definitely did our homework, and knock on wood, we will be here for the community and hopefully be able to remain open from now until forever.
You know, you say that, and I know that to be true about not taking this lightly. I know that many of you, as executive directors of our downtown museums, have met weekly, if not monthly, and talked about the challenges of what you're going through. So I love that, you know, you have been working smart, not hard, with the rest of the museum. So what procedures have you put in place to protect both your staff and your volunteers?
Yeah, if I can take a quick step back, I want to make sure that your viewers know that we had permission from the governor's office weeks ago to be able to open, and we chose not to. We didn't feel like it was the right thing to do at that particular time, and we've worked closely with the Tacoma Pierce County Health Department officials to make sure that we were aware of kind of what the safe numbers were. We do benefit from having large buildings. The Seaport, as most folks know, if they've been here, is cavernous. So we feel like from a space standpoint, it's not like trying to pack somebody into get 10 people into an 8-person room. But as far as the procedures, we put a safety plan in place. We've developed a safety plan in conjunction with the health department, as well as just about the CDC. We've looked at all the guidelines and created a safety plan from that. We have signage. We'll require masks. We've installed additional hand sanitizing stations. We are limiting the number of folks that can be in the museum at one time. We are limiting the number of people that can be in front of any one exhibit for any particular point in time. We have replaced the air filters in our HVAC system with what's referred to as MERV 13 filters. And we are in the process of exploring some additional systems that we can tack onto our HVAC that will ionize the air and make it clean. And we want to do this for both our staff as well as our visitors. You know, I've learned probably more about science than I ever did in 4 years of science in high school and college in these last couple of weeks. So next time we visit, let's do a Q&A on ionization and clean air, and I'll tell you what that all means.
Hey, that could be one of your next exhibits.
It could be. Well, we have a clean water exhibit, so how appropriate would it be to then add a clean air exhibit, right?
Absolutely. So let's talk about what are some of the exhibits and displays that the visitors can look forward to seeing.
Well, and what's funny about that is when I started here, one of the things and this was pre-COVID, I want to make sure people understand that back in mid-December, if you walked around the museum, you'd see a lot of signs that say, do not touch, do not touch. And one of the things that I wanted to be able to do when we really kind of got going was to be able to take all those signs out, because to really understand and appreciate the skill that goes into making a wooden boat, you have to be able to feel it, touch it, and kind of just get that sensory thing going on. Well, then COVID hit, right? And then the idea of removing those signs went away. So I'll tell your viewers that while I would love for you to get all over our boats, it will be a no touching type of thing. We've also removed a lot of our hands-on kids type things, and we are cleaning. I want to be able to point that out. We are cleaning on a daily basis. But from an exhibit standpoint, what I'm excited about is rather than looking back in the past of what we didn't have and what we can't do, let's look ahead and what we can look forward to. In addition to that opening in October, we are going to start construction on our Heritage Boat Shop here within a couple of weeks. We anticipate that construction being done probably around the holidays, if you can believe that we're that far into the year already. And probably we'll have a grand unveiling of some sort in 2021. So that's probably the thing that I'm going to hang my hat on with you at this particular point in time, because it's sort of going to set in motion a series of exhibits, new exhibits or exhibit renovations that'll take place for the next 3 years or so.
Perfect. So in these last few minutes, there is something called Virtual Free Thursday.
Oh, you hit my sweet spot, didn't you? Yes.
Yep, I want to hear about this. Tell our viewers what we can expect.
Oh, those have been awesome. Man, I could have taken 13 minutes on that one alone. We have a partnership with Columbia Bank, as do the other museums, to do a free Third Thursday program. Obviously, we're not open, so what are you going to do? So we decided to pivot. There's that infamous word, pivot, and we partnered up with Pretty Gritty Tours here in Tacoma. And on the third Thursday of every month, starting in August, so we've done August and September. We'll do one in October, November, and December. We are doing a free virtual Third Thursday tour. And our host and tour guide will take viewers on a 45-minute ride through history. We focus on one exhibit in the museum at a time, and it is both entertaining as well as educational. We have had thousands of views on each of those tours thus far. And I want to tip my hat to Pretty Gritty Tours as well as Columbia Bank for their support of that. One of the things that I told staff when we got into COVID was that anything we create, I wanted to make sure that it had legs and that could live post-COVID, in the post-COVID world. And we anticipate that there will always be people that will be hesitant to visit our museums. And so these virtual tours, we plan on having them go way beyond the end of the year. We're looking at January already and discussing what that might look like. So I am very pumped about our virtual free Third Thursday. So thanks for asking about that.
Oh, my pleasure. And it feels like that you and your amazing team, Brent, have put so much thought and heart into this reopening that there's something for everybody. So I thank you so very much, because ships are as old as time, and they have history and they have secrets to tell us about how to continue on with sustainability. So I thank you so much for opening up, and for all of the boat whisperers like myself that can't wait to get in there. And I want to have you back on sooner than later. All right.
I would love that. And Amanda, I want to thank you and Cityline for your support of the museum district. I know you do a lot of work with each of us. So my hat's off to you and your crew. And I also want to give a big shout out to my peers at the other museums. We went from a quarterly meeting, maybe on a good quarter, to where we had been meeting weekly. And I think each one of them would tell you that it may not be a lot of logistics and strategy that we discussed, but it's been a great therapy session. So I appreciate the Tacoma community, and love you all, love my team. And we look forward to seeing everyone back on October 16th.
It's a date. Thank you so much, Brent. We are going to pause for the cause. We'll be right back after this message.